Pochettino's boys still can't find the net, and Manchester City go through to a second consecutive FA Cup final. Manchester United, yes, almost gives us heart attack as they go from a 3-0 lead to draw and finally win on penalties against the championship side, Coventry. The FA Cup spirit lives on. Welcome to the Soccer Huddle. Yeah, yes. Like we saw two great matches over the weekend. And I think most of people thought the United one was just a walkover. And I remember telling people, I was like, yeah, guys, never underestimate Coventry because I saw their game against West Ham and they looked apart. They deserve to be in the semi-final, and we saw in the semi-final they deserve to go to the final. As a Man United fan, I'm so disappointed to actually say that they deserve to go to the final than us and Man United. So, but let's start off with the City and Chelsea game where we saw Manchester City winning that game after extra time 1-0 courtesy of a Bernardo Silva goal. And I thought again, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's whatever they call them, these things, the African things, Jackson when he goes back home, because he seems to lose his confidence. Each and every game that he plays, he seems to lose his confidence. And I think also the manager has to play a part in that, because you see Nunes for Liverpool, he misses chances, but he keeps on going, keeps on going. But we saw with Jackson, the more he misses chances, the more he loses his confidence to actually go and try again. And Ramon with the midweek game against Arsenal, where it was like as if like he lost his confidence. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't shoot. On the ball that he was supposed to hit, he put his hands up. There was a goal where the far post was open. He tried to squeeze it in into the near post. I think he's slowly, not even slowly, I think he's lost his confidence. I think the manager needs to sit him down and say, Chief, you're a striker. You are to miss chances, but the goal is to keep on going. And I think that for me has to happen. Someone needs to sit him down and like you are going to miss goals, but you keep going. You do not stop. And I know it might sound controversial. People are like, the man I want more, but that's how you keep people motivating. You fall, you rise up and you walk. You fall, you rise up and you walk. And I think that it is a mixture of a lot of things that is happening on Chelsea Football Club. They had so many chances. I think they created about 5 chances or 5 goals on target, and they could have beaten Manchester City for me if they had taken their chances. Obviously, Manchester City, if they get a chance, they're gonna punish you. Obviously, fresh from the elimination as well from the Champions League against Real Madrid. I think that game was well balanced. I think any team could have won that game. But as soon as the game went to extra time, the longer the game went on, the more chances of City winning it. Because they've got experience in that. They've been playing in big tournaments. And City and Chelsea, as I said, they're a bunch of teenagers playing. Because you could see last time, Nawala penalty. And it's not the first time. So it's a bunch of things that are happening with Chelsea football. And I must say, this is in it, Tom. I put them in the top 4, and I think that is just not working out for me. But if you look at their last game in the few weeks, you could see the confidence they were gaining. You can see how they were playing. You can see some may say style of playing, and you can see a very confident Chelsea. They were leaking goals, but they were scoring goals as well. And Cole Palmer has been the player of the season by far. He's up there. The rest are just they're fighting for scraps. So Manchester City head to Wembley again for the second year in succession, and joining them again. Eric out, Ten Hag out. He joins Manchester City in their second Manchester Derby FA Cup final for a second year in a row. They were leading comfortably 3-0 against Coventry. He takes out two teenagers. He takes out Mainu. He takes out Garnacho. Then all hell breaks loose. I don't know what happened, but everything just went sour. The boys came back. The Coventry boys came back, and the game was 3-0. And there was a goal. There was a goal in the 90-something minutes before we went to penalties. That goal had us on our knees. I'm speaking personal. It had me on my knees. Sure.
I bet they can do.
Offside. Offside.
Almost gave me a heart attack, man. I mean, football. A great man by the name of Kolo Tubajani once said, "Football will kill you real death," and we almost saw that on Sunday. Kanna special. So I think people are trying to blame Erik ten Hag for the results, and you can put the blame on him. But another thing is you can put the blame on the players. He can't take two teenagers out, which it makes sense. He wants to keep them energized. He wants to keep them fresh for the midweek game, and then he puts in two experienced players in the likes of Eriksen and Tony, and the drop off is just that too high, too low. That doesn't make sense, man. Like, are you telling me that Eriksen and Antonio are that bad that they replaced two teenagers in the starting lineup and everything just went sour? I think, and I've said this before. I've said this on the on our previous video with Bazero and the boy Hore. Yes, Erik ten Hag might be sacked. Yeah, I agree. There's times where he's so frustrating with his substitute, but on Sunday, if you look at it, because I was like you guys on Sunday, I was so frustrated. I'm like, why did he take out that ball? But if you look at it, it was like he took out teenagers and put experienced players. He put on experienced players, and I remember telling them the reason for me, I believe why he put Eriksen is because he wanted to control the game. He wanted to control the midfield. Eriksen can hold the ball, can see a pass, he can play your 1-2 passes, short passes. If there's a killer pass, he can do it, and it didn't work out. And I was like, sometimes his game management is so poor. But for me, my biggest thing that I want to see is a clear out at Man United. There's so many players in that team that I don't think they deserve to be there anymore. There's so many players in there that have been there for 4 managers already. 4 managers have came and they went, and the players are still remaining. Which other club, which other team, tell me, which other team has 4 players or has players that have been there longer than 4 managers? I'll wait for you in the comment section there. FA Cup, we're playing the replay against Manchester United, 24th of May, if I'm not mistaken, against Manchester City at Wembley again. Will we beat them? The stats say it is not working in our favor. In the last 3 games, we lost to ManCity. Have won all of them. I think it's a 3-1 deficit, an average of 3-1. The last time we beat Manchester City was last year, the 14th of January. The 14th of January at Old Trafford. That was the last time we beat them. We've played them 3 times after that. We've lost all the games. So it's going to be an interesting one. Will we win it? I don't know, honestly. But for me, let me just say this. For us to win the game, for Man United to win the game, for me personally, this is what needs to happen. Ineos needs to come out and back the manager. Ineos needs to come out and say Erik ten Hag is our man going forward. Because I believe there's players in that team that somehow do not want to play for the manager again. Somehow wants to get the manager fired. But if Ineos or the structures above him come in and back the manager, it will show the players that this guy is here next season. So if you do not perform, you are out. If you do not perform, next season you're not here, because he will know who played for him and who didn't want to play for him. So if Ineos comes in and backs the manager, those players are going to give it 100%, just as they did last season, just as they did the whole last season. The whole last season was like, everyone was surprised. Hey, are these the same players? They did that because they were afraid of being sold. So if the structure above Erik ten Hag can come in, who is it? Willock that we got from Southampton, Abu Omar Barada, Abu Blanc, that can come in and say, we back the manager. This is our manager going forward. This is the guy to lead our project. I think then and after then, Man United will play differently. Because now there's so much uncertainty in the team that players do not know who's going to be the manager for next season. Players do not know who's going to be here for next season. And it's so very, very difficult to work under those situations or pressures. So Ineos needs to come in and back the manager, or needs to come in and say, Erik is not the man to lead us. Yeah, let me know as well. Who do you think will take the FA Cup? Obviously, you're gonna say Manchester City, but having had what I said, let me know. Am I making sense? Am I just living in a fairy tale world? Oh yeah, let me know what you think as well. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.